When my phone buzzed that evening, I was halfway through cleaning the dishes. The message preview popped up on the screen, simple and oddly casual. At my ex's house. His dad died. Don't be jealous. I stared at it for a full 10 seconds, dish soap dripping off my hands, trying to make sense of it. There was something about the tone, light, dismissive, that instantly set off an alarm in my chest. My wife Hannah had left an hour earlier, saying she was going to meet her friend Sophie for coffee. I didn't question it. We'd been married for 6 years, together for 9. Trust was supposed to be the foundation of what we had. But standing there, watching the screen dim and her name fade away, something inside me went cold. I dried my hands, took a breath and typed back. My condolences. Hope his family's doing okay. She didn't respond. That silence, that stretched, empty pause, was worse than anything she could have said. Hannah came home close to midnight. I heard her key in the lock, the quiet shuffle of her heels on the wooden floor, and then the soft thud of her purse landing on the couch. "Hey!" I called out, pretending to sound normal, like I hadn't been sitting there in the dark for hours. She froze at the sound of my voice. "Why are you sitting in the dark, Sam?" I flipped on the lamp. "Just waiting up." "How was Sophie?" Her eyes flickered. Just a small, involuntary movement, but enough. It was fine. We grabbed coffee, then went for a walk near the pier." "Near the pier," I repeated, studying her expression. "Yeah. Why?" Held up my phone. "Because you texted me that you were at your ex's house. Remember?" Her face drained of color. "What? No, that's not. Oh God. I didn't mean to send that. That was supposed to go to Sophie. She was asking where I was." "It's nothing." She said it too fast. Too rehearsed. "You accidentally told me that you were at your ex's house?" I asked quietly. She bit her lip, her eyes darting away. "Sam, it's not what you think. His father died suddenly. I just went there to pay my respects. That's it. Please don't make this into something it's not." I wanted to believe her. God, I really did. But there was something in her tone, that forced calmness, the way her hands trembled slightly, that told me she wasn't giving me the whole story. I tried to sleep that night, but the thought kept looping in my head. At my ex's house. Don't be jealous. Why would she even need to say that? We'd talked about her ex before. Ryan Carter, a guy she dated in college. She once told me he cheated on her, and that she'd never forgiven him. It was ancient history, or so I thought. The next morning, while she was in the shower, I sat on the edge of the bed and stared at her phone on the nightstand. I'd never snooped before. I always thought that once you crossed that line, you couldn't go back. That trust, once broken, never rebuilt cleanly. But my hands moved on their own. I unlocked it. Same passcode she'd always used. Her messages with Sophie were normal enough. But when I scrolled further down, I found another thread. Ryan Carter. The last message was sent last night. "Ryan, thanks for coming. It meant a lot to see you again. Hannah." I couldn't just ignore it. "You were a big part of my life. Ryan, you looked beautiful tonight. Just like old times. Hannah. Don't start, Ryan. Ryan. You didn't stop me earlier." My heart sank. There were no pictures, no direct proof. But the implication was clear. Something had happened. I locked her phone, placed it exactly where I found it, and sat there staring at the floor. I felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. For days, I didn't confront her. Instead, I watched. She started staying late at work. She became defensive over small things. Her phone was glued to her hand, always face down, always locked. Every lie chipped away at me piece by piece. Finally, I called her office one afternoon just to check. "Hi, this is Sam, Hannah's husband. I was wondering if she's still in the office." The receptionist paused. "Oh, Hannah left around 1 today. Said she had a family emergency." My heart thudded. I checked her location. We'd once shared it casually through Google Maps. It was still active. She was at a residential address. I typed it into Maps. My stomach dropped. Ryan Carter. I drove there. I didn't even think. I just moved, fueled by a sick, hollow dread. When I pulled up, I saw her car parked outside his apartment complex. I sat there in my car, gripping the steering wheel, watching the building. 2 hours passed. Then she came out. Her hair was messy, her clothes rumpled. She walked out slowly, head down, her phone pressed to her ear. I didn't follow her. I didn't yell. I didn't make a scene. I just watched her drive away, then started my car and followed from a distance. Not because I didn't believe what I'd seen, but because I wanted to be sure. She stopped at a gas station, fixed her hair in the mirror, sprayed perfume and headed home. That small act, trying to erase what she'd done, broke me more than anything else. That night she climbed into bed beside me and said, "You're quiet lately. Is something wrong?" I turned to face her, studying the face of the woman I thought I knew. "Do you love him?" Her breath hitched. "What? Ryan? Do you still love him?" Her lips parted but no sound came out. "That's what I thought," I whispered. "Sam, it's not what you... Don't insult me with that again." She sat up, tears filling her eyes. "It wasn't supposed to happen. I just went there to comfort him, and it got emotional and..." I laughed bitterly. "And what? You tripped and fell into him." "Please stop," she sobbed. "It was one mistake. I regretted it the second it happened." I stared at her, my throat tight. "Then why did you go back the next day?" Her silence answered for her. In the days that followed, our house became a museum of silence. We ate in separate rooms. We spoke only when necessary. I slept on the couch. She begged me to forgive her. Said she'd end it with Ryan, that she'd do anything to fix what she'd broken. But trust doesn't heal with words. It dies quietly, gasping under the weight of every excuse. The worst part wasn't the affair itself. It was realizing that the woman I'd built my life with had looked me in the eyes every day while living a double life, and I hadn't seen it. A week later I met Ryan. He was waiting outside his office when I approached. He looked surprised to see me. "Sam," he said carefully. "Look, I don't want trouble." I smiled, a cold, hollow thing. "Neither do I." He swallowed. "It wasn't planned, okay? She came over, we talked and..." "You don't need to explain," I said quietly. "I just wanted to see what kind of man she threw everything away for." He looked down, shame flickering in his expression. "It's over. She told me she's staying with you." "Not for long," I said, turning to leave. "She just doesn't know it yet." That night I packed my bags. When Hannah came home, she saw the suitcase by the door and froze. "Sam, please. Don't do this. I'll go to therapy, I'll quit my job, You already made your choice," I said softly. "Now I'm making mine." She reached for me, tears spilling down her cheeks. "I love you." I hesitated, the words catching somewhere between pity and anger. "You loved the way I loved you," I said. "Not me." And then I walked out. 2 months later, the divorce papers were finalized. She moved in with her sister. I bought a small apartment downtown. Quiet, sparse, but peaceful. Every now and then, I'd catch myself reaching for my phone to text her, out of habit. Then I'd stop. There's a strange emptiness that follows betrayal. Not rage, not grief, but a quiet, hollow space where trust used to live. But slowly, that emptiness began to feel like freedom. A few weeks later, I got another message from her. "Hannah, I heard Ryan moved to another city. I haven't talked to him since. I just wanted to say I'm sorry again. Hope you're okay." I stared at it for a moment. Then I typed back, "I am. My condolences. For what you lost." She never replied. I didn't need her to. Because for the first time in a long time I wasn't jealous or angry or broken. I was free.